Next up, we're going to deal with meridian, the longitude, right? Now, the Most High would use water to separate, right? So here we would have the Atlantic Ocean, ATL, Atlantic Ocean, right? Here we would by nature separate the east from the west. But again, you have a group of men. Now, a group of men say, we're going to put the 0 degrees where we want it to be. And everyone needs to do what? Eat off our tree in the garden. So, we're going to put it here. And we're going to call it 0 degree. And everything to the right of this is going to be called east. And everything to the left of it is going to be west. Now, there's a problem because these countries here on the west of this line does what? They do what? They share the same time zone as all these countries here. So when you deal with Algeria, Morocco, Gambia, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Senegal, and so forth, they all have the same time zone as the countries here. The real west starts in the midst of the Atlantic here, where everything to the left of it, guess what? They have a total different time zone to these regions of the east. There are at least a 6 hours difference, which goes back to what we said earlier about the morning and the evening, right? When you're having the first hour in Africa, in the east, we're still having night over here. When you're having midday, we're having dawn. When the sun is over our heads, it's midday for us. So you see the 6 hours difference between here in Africa and here in the Caribbean. Senegal and these places west of the Meridian, guess what? They share the same time zone. There isn't 6 hours difference. So nature does not testify of this meridian. It's just a construct of the mind. So here you have the 0 degrees meridian. They say everything to the right is considered as east, and everything to the left is considered as west. Now, these regions here in Africa, Senegal and those places, why do they, if they are west, considered to be west, why do they have the same time zones as the east, same hours, same date, and not the other western countries? You see, that's the problem. Because when the Most High separates something, it is separated by nature. So the division between the east and the west is what? The Atlantic Oceans. There are 6 hours difference, right? So for example, when Africa is having solar midday, which would be between the 6th to the 7th hour, guess what? Us in the west, in the Caribbean and so forth, would be having what? Our first hour. Our first hour. When people in Africa are having the last hour of the day, right? We are doing what? We are what? We are having our solar midday, 6th to 7th hour. they're coming out of their 12th hour and going into what? The first hour of night. So again, this is what it means when it says the evening and the morning were the first day. So from the light of the sun at the eastern horizon to overhead, which is called the zenith, that's the morning, 6 hours. And from the zenith to the western horizon, that's another 6 hours. And that's what you have a complete day. And that's 12 hours. And you know the light go by the time of the year, right? Some days may be longer, some days may be shorter, depending whether the sun is in the north or is in the south. So here we're looking at the Pacific, right? Now, the sun coming across the Pacific, like I said, Japan, you can put New Zealand, these places will get the sunlight first. So when Japan is having its first hour, like for example, now we can see Japan is having 4:45 a.m. You come over to China, they're having 3:45, right? And the more you go to the left, you'll see that Myanmar is having 2:19, India 1:19, Pakistan 12:51. Let's go over. Iran 11:20 p.m. and this is Sunday. Iraq 10:53. Come up to Europe, Ukraine 9:54. Poland and Germany 8:54. And England which is the center of the universe is 7:55 p.m. Sunday. And this is the so-called 0 degrees meridian. How backwards is this? Like I said, the sun coming across, it hits here first. So when Japan is at the first hour, hold on. When Japan is at the first hour of the day, Beijing, when they are hitting their first hour of the day, Japan would be in its second hour of the day, and so forth. So the more the sun goes across, is the more the daylight period increase, the hours of the day increase, and it moves across this way. When Africa is getting their first hour, when Africa is getting the first hour, the sun is here coming across. 6th to 7th hour, sun is overhead, it's called zenith. While Africa is having solar midday, we over here are going into our first hour. When Africa is in the 12th hour of the day, they are going to usher in their night, their first hour of the night, and we would be ushering, we'll be having our solar midday. That's when the sun is at the zenith. That is to say 6th to 7th hour.